open a book. That's my favorite subject myself. But Clarice, favorite subject wasn't herself. It was everyone else in me. Millie then gets frustrated and kicks at some books. Books aren't people. You read, and I look around, but there isn't anybody. Montag looks and turns off the parlor. Why should I read? What for? I saw the damnedest snake in the world the other night. It was dead. It was alive. You want to see that snake? It's a emergency hospital where they filled a report on all the junk the snake got out of you. Montag thinks of the day in the park when he meets Faber. When he thinks of the fall asleep and then Mildred shrieks. Then Montag goes to the closet, finds Faber's card and calls him. Yes, this is me, Montag.
Yes, Mr. Montag.
Hi, Faber. I have a rather odd question to ask you.
Yes.
How many copies of the Bible are left in this country?
Sorry, Mr. Montag. I don't know what you're talking about.
How many copies of Shakespeare and Plato are left?
Is this a trick? There are none. You know as well as I do.
Faber hung up the phone. Montag put down the phone as well. He knew that there weren't any books left, but somehow he wanted to hear it from Faber. Look, Mildred, this book is called the Old and New Testament. Don't start this again, Montag. This may be the last copy in the world. Captain Beatty knows that you have it, right? I don't think so. I don't think he knows which book I stole. If I substitute the book, then the captain will find out, and he will think that we have a library here. What are you doing? Are you trying to ruin us? Who is more important, me or that book? Montag was not listening to her. He was thinking about getting a duplicate of the book and returning this one. Montag imagines Beatty begins to lit the pages of a book on fire. Montag imagines Beatty to lit the pages of the book on fire. Each becomes a black butterfly. Light the third page from the second, so on. Chain smoking, chapter by chapter. Then Montag wakes up and takes a subway to Faber's.
Who is it?
Montag out here.
I'm sorry. One has to be careful.
Faber then looks at the book under Montag's arm and could not stop.
The book. Where did you get it?
I stole it.
May I?
Montag hands Faber the book.
It's as good as I remember. Christ is one of the family now. I often wonder if God recognizes his own son the way we've dressed him up, or is it just down?
Faber then sniffs and flips the pages.
Mr. Montag, you are looking at a coward. I saw the way things were going a long time back. I said nothing. Well, suppose you tell me why you came here.
Nobody listens to me anymore. I can't talk to the walls because they are yelling at me, and I want to teach me to understand what I read.
Number one, because they have quality. They show the pores in the face of life.
And the second?
Leisure. Time to think.
My wife says that books aren't real.
Well, she's part of the public who you guys have stopped by forcing them.
The public stopped reading on its own?
Would you like to have this?
Montag grabbed the Bible and started to tear up the pages.
Oh, please, don't tear the pages.
Who will stop me? I can burn it.
You wouldn't burn it. What do you want from me?
I need you to teach me. Then Montag began to unwad the pages.
Why?
I want to say something to the captain. He reads enough. He has all the answers. I'm afraid that he'll talk me back into the ways I was before. So can you help me? Faber was quiet and had to sit down. His face was as white as a ghost. He realized how afraid Montag was of the captain.
Well, I do have something that will help you.
Faber handed Montag something that looked no bigger than a .22 bullet.
I paid for this.
How?
I played in the stock market and built all of this. I was waiting for this day. I waited for someone to come to me.
Well, what is it? It looks a lot like a seashell.
This is a device where you can hear me comfortably. You can hear me and I can hear you and whoever you are talking to, like Beatty. I will be here listening to your conversation and analyze and what the other is saying and find its weakness.
Montag put the small bullet in his ear, just like Faber. Then Faber said something. I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
He leaves Faber's house and goes to the bank to withdraw some $400 or $500 so they can copy more books from a friend of Faber's and takes a subway. Faber and Montag then start talking over the green bullet. I'm not thinking. I'm just doing like what I'm told. Like always. When do I start working things out on my own?
You started already by saying what you just said.
Montag felt his feet moving him on the sidewalk toward his house. Mrs. Phelps and Mrs. Bowles walked into Montag's house. While Mrs. Phelps and Mrs. Bowles are watching the parlor wall, Montag shuts it off. So, Mrs. Phelps, have you any children?
No, children are ruining us.
Okay, well let's talk about politics.
Oh yes, I voted for President Noble and his fine-looking man. Ooh, he's hot.
Oh well, the man that ran against him, he wasn't much, was he?
Oh yes, he was always picking his nose. Do you want us to vote for a man like that?
Montag got up and stormed out of the room. He returned with a book in his hand.
What is it that you got there? Reading up on fireman's theory?
The hell with that, it's only poetry. Montag, Mrs. Bowles, and Mrs. Phelps fight over if poetry is good or not, and Montag gets really mad.
Play it out as if you were joking, or you will get us caught.
Mildred grabs the book and tells Montag to read a different one. No! Montag grabs the book back and Mrs. Phelps starts to cry loud. Montag grabs the book back and Mrs. Phelps starts to cry loud. Montag turned to the waiting flames and threw the book in the flames.
Why do you people want to hurt us? Isn't there enough hurt in the world? I'm going straight home.
Yeah, go home. Think of your 3 husbands that left you. Go home, he yelled. There was a loud slam and nobody in the room. Then from the bathroom, a sound of rattling pills from the bottle of sleeping pills. Montag stood behind the refrigerator and noticed his pile of books were short than before, which meant Mildred was burning them slowly. Then Montag left the house.
Watch it, Montag. Next time, remember that you're not alone. I am with you and that we are in this together. Yes, I felt young, but now I need you to feel old. Also, for the next 2 days, I need you to sneak around and I will listen to what Beatty is saying.
I feel guilty for making her cry. I think that I am wrong and I should stop.
No, do not feel that way. If there was no war, then I wouldn't mind.
Then Montag entered the firehouse and there was no mechanical hound. Slippery and saying smart things. Then Beatty started to talk to Montag.
Books can be traitors. You can think they're backing you up, but then they turn on you.
Then the firehouse bell rang and Montag Beatty got Montag to go with them. Montag insisted not to go, but Beatty forced him. Also, Montag was very confused why Beatty was driving. He never drove any place. Then they were off.
Here we are.
Why have we stopped in front of my house?